Shabbat, one and all. Shabbat Shalom. Good to see all of you. Welcome to Avat Shalom. I'm Rabbi Matt Berger, joined on the bima with our soloist Allison Rosoff and our accompanist Joy Katzen-Guthrie. Special welcome, Bruchim Habaim, all those who are watching the broadcast on TV or on your computer. We're so glad that you're here with us as well. You'll be able to find all the service prayers on the screen, but you're also welcome to follow along in our prayer book, Mishkan Tefillah. If you turn to the Kabbalat Shabbat, Welcoming Shabbat service, on page 14, you'll find the words of Psalm 97, Or Zarua La Sadiq. Light is shown for the righteous in a world that truly needs light right about now. Adonai, v'hodu lezecher kodsho, zecher kodsho. Or zarua latzadiku ish relev simcha. Beautiful arrangement by Rick Ratt. Any ladies who are here who would like to ascend the bima and help us light the Shabbat candles, you'll find the blessing on page 2, and we'll sing Debbie Friedman's Light These Lights Together.
Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, Sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle light and shine.
Bye.
all say Yasher Koach, well done. Thank you so much for ushering in Shabbat light. Right on the screen, you'll find a special prayer for the state and people of Israel. If you'll join me, O Heavenly One, Protector and Redeemer of Israel, shield the state of Israel beneath the wings of your love. Shelter it, the canopy of your peace. Send your light and truth to all who lead and advise, guiding them with your good counsel. Bless the soldiers of the Israel Defense Forces and all who stand guard to protect our people. Keep them from all trouble and injury. Secure freedom for all those held captive by the enemy. May they find strength and courage of heart. We'll now turn to a traditional Shabbat table song, Shalom Aleichem, which speaks of the Melachim, the messengers in our lives. You can follow along on page 24, sung to the Beatles with a little help from my friends on Sgt. Pepper. 2. Shalom Aleichem, Malachi, Hasharei, Malachi, Yo. Melech Malkei Hamachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Oh, Shalom, Shalom Aleichem. Oh, Shalom, Shalom Aleichem. Oh, Shalom, Shalom Aleichem. Boachem leShalom Malachei HaShalom Malachei Melech Malkei Hamachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Oh, Boachem, Boachem leShalom. Oh, Boachem, Boachem leShalom. Oh, Boachem, Boachem leShalom. Barkuni leShalom. Malachei HaShalom. Malachei Elyon. HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Malachei HaShalom Malachei Elyon. Melech Malchei HaMachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Oh, save him, Shalom. Oh, save him, Shalom. Oh, Shabbat, Shabbat, Shalom, Shabbat, Shalom. Turning the page, you'll find words of praise, the half or Chatzi Kaddish.
Yitkadash Shmei Rabbah B'yama divrach yurtei v'yamlich malchutei B'chayechon u'v'yamechon u'v'chayei dekol Beit Yisrael Bagala u'v'zman kariv v'imaru amin Yeshmei Rabbah mevarach le'alam ulam yamaya yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yipa'ar v'yiproman v'yidnasei v'yidhadar v'yidale v'yidhalal Shmei dekudesha brichu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata damiran be'ama v'imaru amen.
Let's rise for Shema and its blessings and the call to prayer. Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamevorach. Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamevorach. Baruch Adonai Hamevorach. Le'olam va'ed. Baruch Adonai Hamevorach. Le'olam va'ed. One for creation. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars. Creator of the tide of time and light, the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai, Hamariv, Ahavat Olam, words of love. Wisdom and wonder, passion and instruction, story and symbol. All these things your Torah gives to us. And the more we devote ourselves to it, the more it grows and gives. What could be a truer token of your abiding love than this holiest of your works and the living language that gives it form? Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. Let's sing Open Up Our Eyes. Open up our eyes, teach us how to live, fill our hearts with joy and all the love you have to give. Gather us in peace as you lead us to your need, and we will know that you are one. Open up our eyes. Teach us how to fill our hearts with joy and all the love you have to give. Gather us in peace as you lead us to your need, and we will know that you are one, and we will know that you are one. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. Feel free to be seated. On 36, you'll find the words to V'ahavta, love Adonai. Love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind. And these words which I command you on this day shall be in your heart, shall be in your heart. Teach them faithfully unto your children. Speak of them when you sit in your house, when you walk by the way, when you lie down, and when you rise. Bind them for a sign upon your hand, that they may be a symbol between your eyes. Write them on the doorposts of your house and upon your gate, and upon your gate. Them faithfully unto your children. Seek of them when you sit in your house, when you walk by the way, when you lie down, and when you rise, and when you rise, and when you'll find our reading that precedes our song of Frida Mi Chamocha, Who Is Like You, on 40, right on the screen. Join me. Sing the song of men and women joined in understanding and respect. The song of God's miracles, an earth protected and cherished. A gift for our children and the generations to come. The song of a land once ravished by war, now quiet and content, her soldiers home to leave no more. The song of a world redeemed, the song of peace. Mi chamocha baili Adonai. Mi kamocha nedar bakodesh. Mi kamocha baili Adonai. Mi kamocha nedar bakodesh. Norati lo Lo, O say Mi kamocha baili Adonai. Mi kamocha nedar bakodesh. Mi kamocha baili Adonai. Mi kamocha nedar bakodesh. Norati lo Norati lo Allison will lead us in our song of Shelter, the prayer, Hashkivenu, page 42. Let's continue now with the tefillah, our standing prayers, which begin on 46 as we ask God to open our lips. Please rise.
Adonai, sivatai tiftachu fi tehillatech. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah. El Hagadol, Hagibor, v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei Hakol, V'Zocher Chasdei Avot v'Imahot, U'mevig Ula Livnei V'neihem, Hoshia umagen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Be'ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayei HaKol, Atah Rav LaHoshia, Mashiva Ruach, Umorid HaGashem, Mechachel Chaim Bechesed, Mechayei HaKol Berachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim Verofech Holim, Umatir Asurim, Umechayem Emunato, Lishenei Afar, Michamocha Ba'al Gevurot, Umido Melach, Melech Memit Umechaye, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'emanat Alech HaChayot HaKol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayei HaKol, Atah Kadosh v'Shimcha Kadosh, U'Kadoshim b'chol yom Yahalu Chasela, Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh.
We'll continue with the blessing for this day, page 55, Kiddushat Hayom, for the holiness of Shabbat. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. On 56, at the bottom of the page, Baruch atah Adonai, Hamachazir, Shechinato L'Tzion, blessed are you, Adonai, whose presence returns to Zion. Sharing words and a prayer of gratitude on 59. Baruch atah Adonai, Atov Shimcha, Ucha Na'eh Lechodot. Allison will lead us in our prayer and song of peace. Shalom Rav, grant peace to Israel and the world.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim
Turning to words of prayer on 253, you'll find Misha Berach, God the one who blesses those in need of healing. We think first of those in Israel still recovering from wounds, families of hostages as well. Along with the following individuals in our community: Carol Bates, Joanne Beeman Fiddleman, Yonatan Ruven Ben Rivka, Charlie Burke, Tina Bruns, Larry Kane, David Chazen, Tyler Chang, Heather Felser, Harry Fleisch, Mitchell Freifeld, David Friedlander, Myron Graff, Carl Greenbaum, Jeff Greenberg, Don Hirschman, Jim Howard, Kathy Howard, Phyllis King, Rick Hornspan, Irene Lipensky, Jerry Longerich, Michael Ranzino, Lisa Rapolo, Stephanie Ross, Marcia Satinoff, Angie Sermenis, Jeff Stark, Grace Tribbiano, and Greg Tribbiano. If there are other names to add, feel free.
My father, George Stark. Misheberach Avotenu Mikol habracha Limnaotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing,
And let us say, Amen. Misheberach Imotenu Mikol habracha Avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Many years ago, back in 2009, my wife Ida and I celebrated our son Avi's first birthday at the Reformed congregation where I served as the assistant rabbi. We were living in the northwest suburbs of Chicago at the time. Now, because the senior rabbi, the cantor, and I all sang and played guitar, the congregants called us the Three Amigos. And I'll actually ask the tech team to show a great gift that I received. Should be coming on there. There we go. All three of us received it. You notice we're not wearing the mariachi suits a la Chase Martin and Short of cinematic fame. So there we were, my son Avi's first birthday, and the cantor walks over to him. He was sitting in a high chair because he was one at the time, and in the cantor's booming voice, he declares, "If I were going to eat any baby, it would be someone as delicious as you." Upon hearing this, the whole room burst into laughter. It was a great memory, and one that I still cherish to this day, especially when I'm drinking espresso out of that great mug. Sadly, Not every family is blessed with such happy events. All the more so in Israel, where hundreds of families' lives were torn asunder on October 7th, and whose agony continues to this day, some 500 days hence. Looking at Israel's war against Hamas and jihadi terrorists from afar, it can be very difficult to see beyond the statistics, to feel the impact of the number of human lives lost and the hostages that remain alive or deceased in the tunnels of Gaza. But one Israeli family truly stands out, emblematic of this crisis, the Bibas family. And now, in the wake of one of the most macabre and grotesque displays of human depravity in the modern era, their images have flooded the news. The planned return of the Bibas family, 4-year-old Ariel, 10-month-old Kafir, their mother Shiri, and Odeid Lifshitz, an 83-year-old retiree and peace activist, was always going to be a tense and very sober affair. But Hamas was determined to make this as painful as possible. Used the 4 coffins as props on a stage, like trophies at a victory party. Even the United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights, Volker Turk, called the display, quote, abhorrent and cruel. It also contravenes international law. Then Hamas continued their pernicious lie that these 4 innocent souls were killed by Israeli airstrikes. Yet hours later, we learned that Israeli authorities, after examining the remains, concluded that the 2 Bibas children were brutally murdered by terrorists in November 23, and that Mr. Lifshitz was murdered in the captivity of Palestinian Islamic Jihad. Finally, Israeli Defense Force representatives announced that the 4th body was actually not that of Shiri Bibas. Moreover, no match was found with any other hostage. This, of course, directly violates the ceasefire agreement, which stipulated that the aforementioned deceased hostages were going to be returned on Thursday. How can one even describe such an atrocity? It flies in the face of every ethical value and a rational and caring human being holds dear. Contrary to what pro-Palestinian activists believe, which sadly includes many Jews among their ranks, Hamas is not in any way, shape, or form a resistance movement. It's a death cult that thrives on suffering and glorifies destruction over life and coexistence. Kafir Bibas was only 10 months old when abducted. His brother was 4. What kind of people abduct and murder innocent children, their parents, along with other adults? Israel's ambassador to the UN, Danny Danon, rightfully called this a new low and an evil and cruelty without parallel. Moreover, that history will remember well who stood by and who remained silent while Hamas trampled on the most basic principles of humanity. And just miles away, Israelis watched the scene unfold in horror and anguish, a startling turnaround from the catharsis that Israel and all of us felt after the recent release this past weekend of 3 of the living hostages, Segui Dekel Chen, Yair Horn, and Alexander Trufanov. Yesterday, the chief rabbi of the IDF, his name is Brigadier General Ayel Krim, read Psalm 83 over the caskets. Many consider this psalm to be a national elegy, and it's read both on Holocaust Remembrance Day as well as Israeli Fallen Soldiers or Memorial Day. I'll ask our tech team to share an abbreviated version of the text on the screen, which says, God, do not be silent, do not be aloof, do not be quiet. For your enemies rage, your foes assert themselves. They plot craftily against your people, saying, let us wipe them out as a nation. Israel's name will be mentioned no more. Deal with them as you did with Midian, with Sisera, with Jabin at the Kishon Brook. Make them like thistledown, like stubble dribbled by the wind. As a fire burns a forest, pursue them with your storm. Cover their faces with shame. May they be frustrated and terrified, disgraced and doomed forever. May they come to know that your name and yours alone is God, supreme over all the earth. Without a doubt, God, as described in the Torah and throughout the Hebrew Bible, takes no quarter against Israel's enemies. God isn't laissez-faire or gentle when it comes to those who hurt the Jews. Yet in the weeks following October 7th, after Israel's initial military barrage in Gaza, many countries quickly appealed to the Jewish state to temper its fury, to use restraint against terrorist groups who kill without reason and use fellow Gazans as human shields, so as not to harm the, quote, innocent Palestinians, many of whom were watching the handover ceremony on Thursday, well-fed and with children and toddlers in tow, in full support of what they witnessed. Adding insult to injury, there was a note on each of the 4 caskets, written in Hebrew, squarely blaming Israel for their capture and deaths. Perhaps Israeli President Isaac Herzog said it best. What brings somebody to kidnap 2 toddlers in their pajamas? This shows the cruelty of the enemy that we're dealing with. Pure cruelty that must be met forcefully because it's a threat to ordinary human beings. Make no mistake, the aim of this type of psychological terror is to drain the hope of Israelis and Jews throughout the world. However, this will never work because resilience is embedded into our DNA as a people. On the contrary, what Hamas has really done is drain the hope of Palestinians, because at this moment, the Palestinians have never been farther away from achieving their dream of statehood. And we should also remember that the Palestinians have previously rejected offers that would have led to their own state on no less than 4 occasions. I'll ask our tech team to display an image of 3 of them on the screen. First, the Peel Commission in 1936 that occurred during the British Mandate. Ultimately, the Arabs rejected this plan. Second, the United Nations Partition Plan of 1947, also rejected by the Palestinians. Following Israel's victory in the Six-Day War, half of the Israeli government wanted to give Palestinians the land that they conquered for a new state. But the Arab League countered with their famous three no's: no peace with Israel, no recognition of Israel, and no negotiations with Israel. Then there was the Camp David summit in 2000, yet another opportunity to end the bloodshed and achieve statehood, rejected by PLO leader Yasser Arafat. And finally, not on the screen, in 2008, Palestinian leadership rejected a land for peace offer that once again would have led to the creation of the Palestinian state. It wonders whether they want a state at all. If only we had a crystal ball to see into the future, to see how Israel will respond to Hamas's latest example of unadulterated evil. Will negotiations for the second phase of the ceasefire even move forward? Or will Israel continue its just war against Hamas in 2 weeks, when the first phase runs its course? As they say, only the shadow knows. But this I can say: after yesterday's events, I am absolutely outraged. Perhaps you feel the same way too. On the one hand, Psalm 83 gets quite biblical in regard to how God deals with Israel's enemies. That's God's department. On the other hand, the families of the remaining hostages just want to bring their loved ones home, which is unlikely to happen if the war continues. But one thing is certain: Hamas needs to be eliminated, not only for the sake of Israel's security, but also to further the cause and mission of human decency in this world, and to ensure that other families won't have to suffer the same fate as the Beebuses. I'll ask our tech team to show one final picture on the screen with one of the Beebus boys during Hanukkah. Every family, from mine to yours, to those in Israel, deserves to celebrate their children's and grandchildren's milestones as simchas, as true moments of joy. Shabbat Shalom. We're going to continue now with the words of the Aleinu, Adoration, on page 282. I'll ask all of us to rise. Any gentlemen or ladies who'd like to come up and open the ark, you're welcome to do so at this time. And here's Avi, 16 years later, much bigger.
Ooh.
Feel free to be seated. Say Yashakoach to our dynamic duo. On 294, you'll find the words of Mourner's Kaddish, words of praise. As we think of families in the period of Shloshim, first 30 days after mourning a loved one, we fondly remember Danny Morris, husband of Mary Morris, Tova Marks, wife of the late Jonathan Marks, Mandy Gordon, husband of Tina Gordon, Carl Shulak, friend of Hal and Marnell Pluchok, Jonathan Marks, beloved father of Rick, Karen, and Tina Cohn, and brother of Ed Marks, Patsy Powers, friend of Hal and Marnell Pluchok, and we also think of Ariel, Kafir, and Oded, who are now returned to Israel for a dignified burial. We add to their names and mark the yahrzeit anniversary of loved ones who died in this season in years past. This Shabbat, we remember Arnold Albin, Selma Basuk, Selma Bauer, Florence Braun, Lisa Cargile, Louis Elbaum, Avery Fischler, Robin Ann Ford, Murray Foreman, Sherry Foreman, Samuel Glaubman, Joseph Gornbein, Clara Graff, Joel Greenfield, Barbara Louise Harris, Doris Hyman, June Eisenberg, Daniel Jaffe, Jerome Lipman, Sylvia Lowenstein, Della G. Maltz, Ann Cantor Margolin, Lottie Posen, Jeffrey Reines, Lillian Richter, Elsie Robbins, Bertie Schreiber, Lillian Schlaffer, Leo Slavny, Riva Sorkers, Rachel Swoy, Sylvia Weiner, and Martin Zung. Are there any other names to add for yahrzeit? We say Zichronam Livracha, may all of their memories continue to be a lasting blessing in the loved ones' lives as we offer the words of Kaddish praise together. Please rise. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, v'yalma divrach yiruteh v'yamlich malchuteh, v'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'chayet kol beit Yisrael, v'agalau v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mevarach le'alam u'lamei almayah, yitbarach v'yitpabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal, shemei dekudusha b'richu, Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran v'yalma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Osei shalom b'mramav, hu ya'asei shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. May the one who causes peace in the heavens cause peace to descend on us, Israel, and throughout the world, as we say, Amen. Feel free to be seated. You'll find the words to the Shabbat Kiddush for the fruit of the vine on page 5. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri agafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'rata banu v'shabbat kodsho v'avahu ratzon inhilanu zikaron v'maaseh u'reishit ihu yom tekilah l'mikrahei kodesh Zeher letziat Mitzrayim. Ivanu v'acharta Yotanu kidashta Mikol ha'amim B'Shabbat tochecha B'ahava u'ratzon Inchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat. Chaim to life. All right, anyone want to join Allison and I on the bima? Avi, yeah. Motzi lechem min haaretz. We give thanks to God for bread. Our voices rise in song together as our joyful prayer is said. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Motzi lechem min haaretz. Enjoy. Steve Koenigsberg will be sharing our Shabbat announcements.
There you go. Hello, everybody. Shabbat Shalom. Many thanks to Rabbi Matt, Allison, Joy for a wonderful service, and the tech team, myself and Bruce, and greeters, Frank, Melissa, and Judy. The Tampa Bay Jewish Food Festival will take place on Sunday, February 23rd at Temple B'nai Israel from 10:30 to 2:30 p.m. Here at TAS on Sunday, our Brotherhood Book Club and breakfast will discuss Bob Woodward's book, War, at 10:30 a.m. So there's a little conflict there, but hopefully some of you will come to talk about the book. On Friday, February 28th at 7:30, we will recognize the profound impact of the Jewish community working on behalf of asylum seekers during Refugee Shabbat. Our guest speaker will be Elke Cummings from Gulf Coast Jewish Family and Community Services. If you'd like to donate much needed, use the QR code found on the final slide. Registration for our Jubilee 50th Gala has closed. Please join us for a festive pre-Neg service and Oneg on Friday, March 7th, beginning at 6:30. Donations for our Jubilee celebration are still being accepted with gratitude. And again, we want to thank everybody for a sellout for the gala on Saturday night. Following services, join us in the social hall for our Oneg Shabbat. Again, Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Thank you so much, Steve. In honor of the land and state of Israel, I'll ask all of us to rise for Hatikva, Jewish national anthem, the Hope. You'll find the words right on the screen. Aleva enima Nefesh Yehudi Hovia Ufate Mizrachakima Ayin Letzion Sophia Odo Akati Katenu Ahati Kavachotapani Liokam Koshi Mehartenu Eretz Zion Yerushalayim Liokam Koshi Mehartenu Eretz Zion Yerushalayim. Shabbat Shalom. Join us in the Oneg.